Hi guys, welcome back to this African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so the videos we're going to be checking out today are videos about the rent. Price of rent have become so high. It is always and constantly rising so high to the extent that the people who are living in most apartments are struggling with affording the rent. It's almost like they're using all of their paycheck, close to all their paychecks, to pay those rents, because it's never the same as when you actually paid or signed your lease for the first time in those apartments anymore. So we're going to be checking out people ranting about how much they are struggling with the rent, how some people are actually being put in the verge of homelessness. But before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It really helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's get right into this video.
So I just got denied for an apartment. I have to move out of my beautiful big ass 2-bedroom apartment with a foyer and a separate kitchen and windows in every room. We're not going to talk about it. Just got denied for an apartment because with me and my friend who are going to be moving in together, her credit score is not high enough for us to qualify together, but my income is not high enough for me to qualify on my own. Although I have a 740 credit score, I have savings, and I make 30 times the rent. But because I don't make 40 times the rent on my own, although we make more than 40 times the rent together, we don't qualify. We don't deserve to have a home according to New York City real estate. And I'm just like, I don't understand, because it's like, so credit is powerful enough to make you a poor applicant when it's not good, but it's not powerful enough to make you a good applicant when it's good?
So I just got home from touring an apartment, and this whole drive home, I have been stewing with anger because between the time I signed up for that tour a week ago and the time I got there to do the tour today, the price of the unit I was interested in has gone up by $300. $300 in a week. And I no longer qualify for the unit at all, because it went up by $300 in a week. And they were talking about, well, the supply and the demand. The supply and the demand. That's why it went up. They skyrocketed over the last week because of the supply and the demand. What are these landlords going to do? These property management companies, because it's not even necessarily like individual landlords, it's these property management companies. What are they going to do when nobody can afford to live in their apartment complexes? What are they going to do when nobody can afford to live in their building? Because this place is also requiring 3 times the rent in income. I have a degree and a salaried job, and I don't make that. There's no reason why any person with a college degree and a salaried job should not be able to qualify for like a basic apartment. Any basic apartment. And I'm going to tell you something. I work in housing, okay? I work at a nonprofit that houses homeless families. I work with homeless families with children. And every single day, I see the consequences of this. I have a client that brings in $4,000 a month and is homeless. They bring in $4,000 a month through their job and they are homeless because of the price of these apartments, because of the income requirements. I see every day these people going to look at apartments, applying for apartments, and getting priced out by the time they can fill out the application, priced out between the time they tour the apartment and apply, priced out between the time they see the apartment and when they apply, and sometimes it's one day and they're priced out. Some of these people have evictions. I don't give a fuck what you think about evictions. You can have an eviction from 6 years ago. Good fucking luck. You're homeless. You're homeless because you got evicted once 6 years ago because you lost your job. I see people dealing with the consequences of unfair and illegal evictions. People who are homeless because they were a stay-at-home mom and their husband died. And some of these people have income. Like I said, I have a client that brings in $4,000 a month and can't afford to live anywhere. And what are these places going to do when no one can afford to live there anymore? And all of these people who would say that this is fair, the landlords should be able to make a profit off of housing, right? That's a whole different, don't even get me started on for-profit housing. But all of the people that would say this is fair, the landlords should be able to make a profit. All these people that are bringing in money and can't afford to live, that's their own problem. We should just throw them to the wolves. We shouldn't be giving them any money. On my way to that apartment tour, by the way, I drove past a cop kicking a homeless man off the corner. Like he had anywhere else to go. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell those people something, those people who are anti-spending money on homeless people. My organization, which is one of literally 1 million in the United States, spends an average of $30,000 to provide emergency shelter to our clients. $30,000 per client. And that doesn't include the rehousing. That doesn't include the stabilization. That just includes paying for their emergency shelter. Just the bed. $30,000 per client. Per family. And that is all government grants. That's all government money. It's all coming from emergency shelter grants from the government. It would be so much cheaper for everyone, less of a burden on everyone, if rent was just affordable. Like, there's literally no downside to making rent something that people can afford. There's no reason I should have a homeless family in my care that's bringing in $4,000 a month. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. They make more than I do. They make more than I do. But because of the rules about bodies per room and they have a family with kids, they can't support themselves. And that person makes more than I do. It's insanity. It's insanity. And I am so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. Where are we all supposed to go? Because at the trajectory this is going, we're all going to get priced out. What are we supposed to do? And where are we supposed to go? I don't get it. What are we all supposed to do?
Because of how expensive the apartments have become and how rents are just ridiculously high, a lot of people are actually left to the fact that most people who moved out of their homes, I've heard of so many people who be like, oh, I moved out of my home because I don't want to live with my family. I'm grown enough, I'm an adult now, I can just go have my own place. I want my own place, I want my own peace. Many people want that space, but now you cannot even getting that space of your own is a luxury. Most people that have done that are actually going right back into their family's home. They're going back to their family and they're like, I'm just going to live here together with them. So people are trying to adjust to the expenses and be like, oh, we're just going to put money together. Many people have, some are taking in so many roommates. Some are coming together as friends. 4 people living in 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. They're just finding ways to make sure that they share the rent and live like that. But then in a situation where you don't even have those people, what are you supposed to do?
Chicago is on literal crack right now because this is my apartment, guys. This is it. Nothing special. It's small. It's a studio. I don't have a living room. And I just got the email telling me that my rent was increased to $1,850, guys. $1,850. This is it. This is the apartment. Table, my kitchen area, there's no counter space if you can tell. There's no dishwasher. This is how small my bedroom is. I don't even have a couch or anything. I have a little catch-all area right here that I can barely fit anything. And then this is my bathroom. You guys, what in the hell? I don't know how I'm gonna afford living in Chicago anymore because I'll tell you right now that for a girl who's been in the industry for 2.5 years, I can't afford an $1,800 apartment.
You cannot budget your way out of a bad economy and greed. I just saw a girl on here say her rent is going up from $1,300 to $1,800. Nothing's changing, just a $500 increase because they can do that. And it was so upsetting hearing the anger and frustration in her voice because obviously if she resigns but can't make those monthly payments, she'll be facing eviction and homelessness. But if she chooses to relocate, that's also very expensive because a lot of places want first month, last month, and security deposit, which is oftentimes equivalent to 1 month's rent, which, by the way, rent these days, you're not finding anything under $1,500. Then you have to pay for your U-Haul if you want to get movers, if you want to move across state lines to hopefully find something cheaper. All of that adds up for one event, and you're looking at $7,000 or more. Now, who has that just sitting around in the bank these days? I would love to know. Tell me your secrets, please. But it's just scary. Even private landlords are being impacted because their property taxes are going up. So now they have to up the rent on their tenants. And I just want to know, where do we all fit in this system? What is the angle here for us? And I hate to say this, but I feel like there is no angle for us other than to be weeded out. We're not in the big picture.
our well-being, our basic human rights, food, shelter, that kind of stuff, that's not on the agenda of these private corporations who are upping the prices on these complexes, or the government and the economy that claim to care about us so much. We're not on their agenda. So like I said in the beginning, it's just scary because no matter how you try to sit there and go over your budget and review your monthly statements and try to stop spending here and stop spending there, you cannot budget your way out of a shitty economy and greed. I don't know. It's scary, but...
Let me let y'all in on a little secret I learned working in property management. If you live in an apartment complex and your utilities are included, or your utilities are paid through your apartment complex, you know they're not doing that just to be nice and make it convenient for you, right? It's either for one or two reasons. One, they're getting a kickback, especially with the internet. Like if they're charging you $100 for an internet package, I guarantee you they're getting that internet for $50 to $75 per unit. So they're just pocketing the rest of your money. Or they're scratching somebody's back. So it's some type of business partnership. And, you know, they just want to hook up one of their homeboys and make sure they get paid for every tenant and every door that they have at their apartment complex. So, yeah, that's your sign to start putting that plan in place to purchase a home.
What she's saying is really true, and before she even made this video, I've seen it and I thought about it and I was like, yeah, this is literally a scam, because just let me pay my bill, okay? Let me pay my bill myself. Like, you guys don't have to do it. So I stayed in an apartment. These people were like, oh, you know, all of a sudden I noticed that before you pay your, you know, water bill, your electric bill, and then all of a sudden now, oh, some of them want to, you know, include it into your utility bills. They will be the one to pay for you, and they're like, oh, we're gonna pay for the water bill, so it's gonna be included, and every month we're gonna tell you how much you're supposed to pay. And let me tell you, it was different. It was more than when I had to pay myself. And then another thing is, the money is always dancing and dwindling. Of course, it's never the same. It's more than usual sometimes. And then funny enough, I was like, wait, like, am I using too much water? Am I using, like, I don't understand why it's so much. Like, why am I being charged so much? Then I decided that I'm like, it seems like they're just charging whatever they feel like. So I'm going to drastically reduce my usage for water. And I did that month. I reduced the amount of water that I used drastically. I was very careful with it so that I would see the difference. Let me make sure, because I needed to do a test on this and see what is happening. And when I did that, to be very honest, the price for my water bill was still much. Matter of fact, it increased than the usual. And I was like, okay, something is up here. These guys are definitely, it's either they're just combining everybody's water usage in a month and say, oh, they're just charging us whatever they feel like. That is what it is. I decided to just use as much as I feel like, because either way, you're still going to charge me so much. So I just started using the water up.
I want to know another secret about apartments. Those 5-star reviews that they have on Google, they fake. Yeah, they fake. Staff wrote those reviews. Staff's family members wrote those reviews. They have like tenants that they're buddy with. They'll get them to leave reviews because they know they're going to leave good reviews because they're friends. They have a sister property in the area, meaning it's another apartment complex, but it's owned by the same corporation. They'll work together and leave each other fake reviews. There's also several Facebook groups that I'm in that are property manager groups and leasing agent groups, and they will post like, hey, here is my apartment. Go to Google, leave us a review, please. These folks ain't never stepped foot on the complex and they go leave 5-star reviews. That's also why when you see a negative review, it be followed by a bunch of good reviews. So you be thinking like, oh, that's probably just an angry tenant. Them tenants ain't lying. Y'all better just go ahead and sort by the lowest ranking review first.
Okay, this is for people who rent apartments. I used to work in property management a few years ago. And here's an insider tip. So if you are like renewing your lease and you're coming up for renewal, and they're like raising your rent like $200-300, they also have the ability to bring your rent down, like the $200-300 increase, or keep it the same or whatever. Don't talk to the leasing consultant, like the person that you can see. Go talk to the person you cannot see, which is the property manager. Not even the assistant manager. Go to the property manager, because they have the ability to go into the computer and there's a screen, well, at least at the company that I worked at, there's a screen that pops up with like all of the rates, all of the comp rates, all of the whatever. And there's a little box at the bottom that tells them how much they can like finagle your renewal price. Again, different property management companies do different things, but there's a little box, and on the box there's a number inside. So it could be like 50, it could be 300, it could be 400, 500, it could be 100, it could be 150, 175. That's the amount of money that I can fix your renewal price. So let's say your rent is $1,500 currently, and your renewal rate is $1,750. Then I go into your little thing, and I look, and in the box it says $150. I can bring the renewal price, the $1,750, down $150. So anytime somebody says that they can't do anything about your renewal price, they're probably lying to you, because they're obviously wanting to make money. But there's always a way to bring down your renewal price. So yeah, there you go. Insider trick.
It's no way around not living check to check. We all live in check to check at this fucking point. Because you want to live in a good neighborhood, right? You don't want to live in the hood. Bills and shit, all this shit is not doing nothing but going up. The average fucking apartment, one bedroom is like $1,600. Especially if you living on your own, that's what make it twice as harder. That's why people always try to go out for like a second source of income, really just to have some free fucking money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fucked up, because it's like, okay, let's say you work 2 jobs. You work 2 jobs, you don't have no fucking time to yourself, because when you away from the first job that you at, you thinking about going to the damn second job, or you got to get ready to go to that second job. Like, I swear, like the economy nowadays is like, it's to the point where it's meant for us to struggle. Like, a motherfucker making $25 an hour back in motherfucking 2014, that's goddamn $50 an hour. Now $25 an hour is like $16 an hour. Like, what the fuck? You already got to worry about rent, and then you got to worry about bills outside of your house. Phone bill, car note, and you know it's a law to have insurance. And that ain't even half of the bills that majority of us got. That's why it be so hard to, you know, save money and fucking just maintain a good living at least. I get it, you gotta work without looking at the clock, but god damn.
Time and times without number, there have been many people that have showed their apartments and have said, oh, look at this thing, this apartment, my lease is about, I'm about to resign my lease, and the rent has gone up than it was before. And they show the apartments are not what the people or whoever owns the apartment is saying the apartment is supposed to cost. It's never worth it. You look at it, you're like, it's still the same building. You guys never added anything new to it. No amenities, nothing. It's just the same place. But why is the rent going high? Talking about it's supposed to be what? Oh, you decided to just be greedy and feel like you need to increase it. People who are working for those apartments, the property managers or whoever, some of those employees or staffs that they have are not getting any increase in their paycheck. Their paycheck is still remaining the same. And that's the thing that baffles me with all these places saying, oh, it needs to be more expensive. These places, they're increasing price of things. The people who are working there in those places are not getting any increase. Then where is the money going to? To the property tax or what? Like, okay, if money is going to the property tax, the people who are working in the property tax places, are they getting any increase? It's not only apartment complexes that are actually very, like, they do the whole review stuff where they lie in their reviews, but I've actually seen people, somebody even sent me an email talking about, oh, like, can you just come and, you know, put some review in this place, that I should come and be putting reviews in different companies and they're going to pay me. So they are paying people to actually go and be putting positive reviews on the, you know, their businesses. And some people might read those reviews and go and not know that, oh, these reviews, some of them are actually fake. And I feel like it's messed up that there's just ingenuine reviews in some places and people don't get to really know what they are really going into. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Make sure you please click the like button. Don't forget to do that. It really helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.